150 days ago, Rafael Jodar did not have an ATP ranking. He was not thinking about Rome or Madrid or Roland Garros. He was thinking about his final exams at the University of Virginia. He was a college student, a freshman, balancing books and backhands in Charlottesville, Virginia. Today, he is doing something that only Novak Djokovic has done since 2007, reaching multiple Masters 1000 quarterfinals as a teenager. He is the highest-ranked teenager on the planet, number 34 in the world, and the entire tennis community is asking the same question. How is this even possible? Here is what makes Rafael Jodar's story genuinely strange. He turned professional on December 30th, 2025. Not 2022, not 2019. December 30th, 2025. He has been a professional tennis player for less than 5 months. In that time, he won the title in Marrakesh on clay. He reached the semifinals in Barcelona. He reached the quarterfinals in Madrid. And now he is in the quarterfinals in Rome, one of the most prestigious clay court events on the planet, against Luciano Darderi, the same player who just knocked out Alexander Zverev. His career high ranking as of May 4th, 2026, number 34 in the world. He is 19 years old. Now here is where the paradox lives, because when you look at what Jodar does not have, the things that conventional tennis wisdom says you absolutely need to compete at this level, the results stop making sense. He has played exactly 2 Grand Slam matches in his entire professional career. So the question this video is built around is simple. How does a player with almost zero experience at the sport's highest level keep winning against men who have been professionals for years? How does a 19-year-old with 5 months on tour do things that only Djokovic has done since 2007? The answer is not what you think. Before we answer that, I need to ask you for a quick favor. If you are finding this breakdown valuable, please take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing and it means everything to us. Now, let's get into it. To find out, we need to go back to 2024. Rafael Jodar enrolled at the University of Virginia in the fall of 2024. He was a freshman. While other top prospects his age were grinding challengers in Europe, collecting ATP ranking points, building their professional infrastructure, Jodar was in a classroom in Charlottesville, Virginia. He went 19 wins and 3 losses in singles that season. He finished as the ACC's top-ranked player. He won ITA National Rookie of the Year. He won ACC Freshman of the Year. He was, by every measure, the best college tennis player in America. And he was still not a professional. The conventional tennis development model says this path is career suicide. The window for a male player to establish himself on tour is narrow and unforgiving. Every year outside the ATP system is a year of ranking points you will never recover. The academies, the agents, the federations, they all say the same thing. Go pro early, suffer early, grow early. The clay courts of Europe do not wait for anyone. Jodar ignored all of it. Now here are the 2 things that, on paper, look like genuine vulnerabilities when you put him against the best players in the world. Flaw 1. His serve is solid, but it is not a weapon. The numbers tell the story. In 2026, Jodar lands 63% of his first serves. He wins 69% of points on that first serve. Those are respectable numbers. They are not elite numbers. The players who dominate on serve at the top level consistently win 75% or more of first serve points and use the serve to set up short balls they can attack immediately. Jodar's serve does not generate free points at that rate. It does not create the kind of immediate pressure that forces opponents into defensive positions from the very first shot of the rally. What this means in practice is brutal and simple. Jodar cannot lean on his serve to bail him out of trouble. He cannot hit an ace at 5-5 in the 3rd set and reset the momentum with one swing. When the pressure is highest, when the match is on the line and the crowd is loud and the opponent is locked in, he has to earn every single point from the baseline. He has to construct the point. He has to outthink his opponent, not overpower him. For a 19-year-old with 5 months of professional experience, that is an enormous ask. And it is the first thing experienced opponents try to exploit. Flaw 2. He has almost no experience in the sport's most demanding format. And Roland Garros is coming. 2 Grand Slam matches. That is the entire resume. He won 1, lost 1 at the Australian Open 2026, and has never set foot on a Grand Slam court since. He has never played a best-of-5 match against a top 20 player. He has never had to manage his body, his mind, and his game plan across 5 sets against someone who has done it dozens of times. This is not a minor gap. Best-of-5 tennis is a completely different sport. The physical demand is different. The tactical adjustments between sets are different. The mental endurance required is something that only comes from doing it, from suffering through it, from losing a fourth set 6-1 when you were up 2 sets to love and finding a way to come back. Jodar has not been through that yet. And in 3 weeks, Roland Garros begins, the biggest clay court stage in the world. Best of 5, against players who have played it 10, 15, 20 times. That is the wall nobody is talking about. That is the real test that 2026 still has waiting for him. So we have a player with a serve that does not dominate and a Grand Slam resume that barely exists. A player who, by every conventional measure, should be losing to experienced professionals in the 3rd round of Masters 1000 events, not reaching quarterfinals. And yet, Rome, Madrid, Barcelona, Marrakesh. There has to be something else. Something the statistics do not show. Something the critics are not seeing. There is. After beating Lerner Tien in Rome's 3rd round, 6-1, 6-4, in 1 hour and 14 minutes, Jodar said something that stopped me cold. He said, "I have been very mentally strong to be able to win this match. Not I hit the ball well, not my forehand was working, not I served great today. Mentally strong. That is the key that unlocks everything." Here is what nobody is talking about when they discuss Rafael Jodar. The college decision, the one that looked like a detour, the one that every conventional tennis mind said was a mistake, did not just delay his professional career. It built something inside him that cannot be taught on a challenger court in Europe. Something that most players spend years on tour trying to develop and never fully find. Think about what a full season at the University of Virginia actually gave him. He played 22 competitive singles matches. He went 19-3. He was the #1 player on his team, which means every opponent came in with a specific game plan to beat him. Every match was a problem to solve, and he solved them. Not with a dominant serve, not with a weapon that ended rallies early, but with his mind, with tactics, with the ability to read what his opponent was doing and adjust before they could adjust to him. He described his approach in 2026 as taking the whole year as a year of learning. Just a 19-year-old executing a game plan with the composure of a veteran. This is not normal for a player with 5 months on tour. This is not normal for anyone his age. And it shows up in the numbers in a way that is almost invisible until you know what to look for. In Rome against Tien, he converted 4 of 8 breakpoint opportunities. 50%. In a sport where the difference between winning and losing at the top level is often 1 or 2 breaks per set, that conversion rate is the difference between a quarterfinal and a first-round exit. He did not get lucky. He chose the right moment, read the right ball, and executed under pressure, exactly when it mattered most. His serve stats tell the same hidden story. Yes, 63% first serve percentage is not elite, but look at what happened after Miami. His service games won jumped from 71.3% to 85.9%, a 20.5% improvement in one stretch of the season. That is not a physical development. That is a tactical one. He figured out how to use his serve more intelligently. Not harder, smarter. Placement over pace. Variation over power. He identified the problem, studied it with his father, and fixed it mid-season. That is a Djokovic-level adjustment, and he made it at 19. Now look at the college path through this lens one more time. Every other top prospect his age went pro at 16 or 17. They entered the professional system raw under financial pressure, needing results to justify their contracts. They played 25, 30 events a year trying to accumulate ranking points. Some burned out, some lost their confidence in a brutal stretch of first-round losses and never fully recovered it. The system that is supposed to accelerate development quietly destroys it, and nobody talks about that. Jodar arrived on tour in January 2026 as a form player. He had already been the best player in his environment for a full year. He had already learned how to handle pressure, how to manage a match, how to win ugly when his best tennis was not there. He did not need the tour to teach him those things. He already knew them. The result is a player who, despite having almost no professional experience, competes with the emotional stability of someone who has been on tour for 5 years. He does not panic when his serve is not working. He does not force the issue when the match is tight. He trusts his process, the tactical, intelligent, patient process he built in Charlottesville, and he executes it point by point, game by game, set by set. That is the hidden weapon. Not the forehand, which is genuinely powerful. Not the movement, which is excellent for his size at 6 feet 3 inches. The weapon is the mind. The weapon is the ability to stay present, stay analytical, and stay calm in moments where 19-year-olds are supposed to crack. The conventional path produces players who are physically ready for the tour, but mentally still developing. Jodar flipped that equation entirely. He arrived mentally ready. and his physical game is only going to get better. Rafael Jodar's story forces a question that goes well beyond tennis. What if the gap that everyone identified as his weakness, the lack of professional experience, the Grand Slam resume that barely exists, is actually the thing that makes him dangerous right now? Because he has not been beaten down by the tour yet. He has not had his confidence eroded by 3 consecutive first-round losses at 17. He arrived believing he belonged, and so far the results are proving him right. Roland Garros is coming, and that will be a different kind of test. Best of 5 on the biggest clay court stage in the world, against players who have lived and died on that court for years. That is the next wall. It is a real one, and how he handles it will tell us everything about whether this is a hot streak or the beginning of something historic. But here is what Jodar has already proven. He learns faster than anyone expects. The 20.5% improvement in service games won after Miami did not happen by accident. The 6-1, 6-4 demolition of Tien in Rome did not happen by accident. The title in Marrakesh, the semifinals in Barcelona, the quarterfinals in Madrid, none of it happened by accident. It happened because a 19-year-old from Spain made a decision that looked irrational from the outside and turned out to be the most intelligent development choice of his generation. He chose depth over speed. He chose formation over exposure. He chose to arrive ready rather than arrive early. And now he is doing things in Rome that only Djokovic has done since 2007. The lesson is bigger than tennis. The weakness is often the strategy. The detour is often the shortcut. And the player who looks like he is missing something is often the player who has already figured out what everyone else is still searching for. Jodar's game does not announce itself. It reveals itself, slowly, over the course of a match, when his opponent realizes that every pattern they brought onto that court has been neutralized, and they have no answer for what comes next. That is not a college kid getting lucky in Rome. That is a player who knows exactly what he is doing. Rafael Jodar is 19 years old. He turned professional 5 months ago. He is ranked number 34 in the world. He has a title, 2 Masters 1000 quarterfinals, and Roland Garros still ahead of him, and he is just getting started. The question I want to leave you with is this. Is Roland Garros, the biggest best-of-5 test of his career, going to expose the experience gap? Or is he going to do what he has done every single time someone said he was not ready? Drop your answer in the comments below. I want to know what you think. And if this breakdown gave you something you did not have before, a new way of seeing what is happening on that court, then do me one favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe to KT Tennis. We are telling the stories behind the sport that nobody else is telling. The stories that make you see tennis differently. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more breaking coverage of the stories that are reshaping our tennis world. This is KT Tennis.